From the Joe Louis Arena in Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, this is No Forgiveness, PAWL's first click per view. I am Luke Daniels, joined by my special guest commentator, Michael James. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm great. Good to be here again. It's been a long time since I last spoke on one of the shows, and it's great to be here again this special night.
We got amazing tag team action in the pre-show, but first let's take a look at the match card. Here's our tag team pre-show match. It is going to be the world's most valuable tag team versus Tons of Funk. And on the main show, we have two upstarts from Heatwave, Fandango versus Big E Langston. We also have a match with serious implications that we will talk about a little bit later, Christian versus Kofi Kingston. We have the Muscle of the Shield, Roman Reigns, going one-on-one with the show-off, Dolph Ziggler. We also have Big Show versus The Miz, a heated rivalry there with costing matches, especially last week on Heatwave when Ted DiBiase scored the upset over The Miz with help from Big Show. Next is probably the biggest brawl on the card. Two Englishmen from Superstars of Today, Wade Barrett versus Sheamus. Then the big one, CM Punk versus Batista. Batista said that he's tired of small kids like CM Punk being the fan favorites. We'll see what happens. Gold is on the line with the Shield members Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins taking on the primetime players. From Heatwave, Intercontinental Champion Antonio Cesaro defends against the winner of the four-man #1 Contenders Tournament, Chris Jericho. Alberto Del Rio defends his title and his national pride against John Bradshaw Layfield in this United States Championship match. And in Superstars of Today's main event, World Heavyweight title on the line as Edge faces Daniel Bryan. And in our main event, the dominant PAWL champion Brock Lesnar goes one-on-one with perhaps his toughest test to date, John Cena. And we'll see what happens in those matches. But now we have our pre-show match as Tons of Funk, Brodus Clay, and Tenzai come out to the ring. Of course, a nice little rivalry being brewed between these two teams on Superstars of Today. 2 weeks ago in tag team action, Shelton Benjamin and MVP were able to knock off Tons of Funk. But last week, we saw Tenzai was able to knock off Shelton Benjamin in singles action. Later in the night, GM of Superstars of Today, Shawn Michaels, would announce this match for our pre-show. And so it's a nice little rivalry that's getting a pay-per-view match. We'll see what happens.
You gotta love Tons of Funk. Somebody call your mama.
I don't know. Somehow it looks like the fans are reacting better to these two guys, Shelton Benjamin and MVP.
Somebody call your mama.
Anyway, here comes the world's most valuable tag team, MVP and Shelton Benjamin. Both men former United States champions. Shelton Benjamin, a former Intercontinental champion. MVP, a former tag team champion. Shelton Benjamin, a former tag team champion. Very gold decorated here. Of course, Tons of Funk. I believe Tenzai is a former hardcore champion, but other than that, they have not really seeked gold. I believe he may be an Intercontinental champion as well. Both of these men of the world's greatest tag team, world's most valuable tag team, are successful singles stars coming together to form a team. And they've been a successful team.
So, it should be a good match. What do you think?
Yeah, who you picking?
Oh. You know, this is a tough one. But I'm going to go out on a limb. Somebody call your mama. Tons of Funk. How about you?
I don't know. It's still MVP and Shelton Benjamin. They've been as a team, but they haven't been as a team as long as Tons of Funk. They're more of individuals working together, and they did score that win. But you just see the pure size of Tons of Funk there.
And they get started early.
Yeah. So I might have to go with Tons of Funk as well. Of course, we have seen the athleticism from perhaps the greatest athlete in professional wrestling, Shelton Benjamin. Of course, a former amateur wrestler. He actually was roommates with Brock Lesnar, our PAWL champion in the University of Minnesota. And they were actually a tag team as well. But he is perhaps one of the greatest athletes. Great leaping ability, great explosiveness. And we have seen him lift Tenzai in their match. Of course, these two in the ring currently, Shelton Benjamin and Tenzai, had a singles match last week on Superstars of Today, which Tenzai was victorious in. But we did see Shelton Benjamin do impressive things like that, German suplexing a 300-plus pounder. Shelton Benjamin is deceptively strong, but a big shoulder tackle there by Tenzai, taking advantage. Of course, as you see on our ring banner, we have showcasing the great singles matches tonight, Daniel Bryan and Edge, as well as John Cena and Brock Lesnar. And on the other side, we also have Alberto Del Rio and JBL and CM Punk and Batista.
We got one big card tonight now. A lot of good wrestling going on.
This is more of a pure wrestling click preview and not really a extreme wrestling click preview. But actually, if you're looking for extreme wrestling, we're going to have that too. 4 weeks from tonight, Extreme Violence 1 will be our next click preview.
Extreme Violence 1. That sounds exciting.
The night when the rule book gets thrown away. Anyways, you see Brodus Clay and MVP are now in here. Of course, Shelton Benjamin and MVP and Tenzai as well have experience in Japan. Well, blending American and Japanese wrestling together, will that be a successful team for the world's greatest tag team? Anyways, you see Brodus Clay dominating this match right now. Tons of Funk has had it going on through the early goings of this matchup, but MVP with a forearm to the back. Clay gets out of that and dropping his 300-plus pound frame on MVP. Of course, MVP was the highest paid free agent in SmackDown history at one point. Trying to get back up to that level, has floundered in recent years. But with the tag team with Shelton Benjamin, has regained some emergence. And smart move by MVP there. Drop kicking the leg. If you can take out that big frame of Brodus Clay, weaken those legs, it'll be better for MVP and Shelton Benjamin, because Brodus Clay can't use that size advantage when he's on the ground. But look at this move there. Innovative move by Brodus Clay. I don't know if that hurts anymore on the outside. But Clay with those innovative backbreakers. And now here comes Tenzai from the back, and Tenzai's going to attack MVP. And I don't know, it seems to be getting to Brodus Clay and Tenzai in recent weeks. It seems like in their matchups, MVP and Shelton Benjamin have been cheered more. Here comes Brodus Clay, though, looking for Oklahoma Slam, but MVP counters. MVP now running the ropes and a knee. A nice move there. And now MVP going to try to tag into Shelton Benjamin. No, Brodus Clay reverses it, though. But Clay's in the wrong corner, and Clay looking for a splash. And now some tag team action going on.
Got to be smarter than that to get over in the opponent's corner.
Yeah. Shelton Benjamin going high risk now.
Oh!
And a little miscommunication there by the world's most valuable tag team. MVP was going to look for another double team move while Shelton Benjamin crashed and burned. And now Brodus Clay's... And he just attacked MVP, knocked him off the apron. And now Clay's going to tag in Tenzai. Shelton Benjamin with a nice drop kick maneuver there. Benjamin now dragging. Looks like he's throwing him into the corner. I was looking for that double team advantage and a big splash there in the corner. And now Benjamin using some of that amateur wrestling style to his advantage. He's trying to choke the life out of Tenzai. And now makes the tag into MVP. MVP with a big clothesline knocking him down. And oh no, looks like it may be time to go ball and MVP for the ball and elbow. Might be going for a little ball in here. And MVP hits the ball and elbow on Tenzai. Going for the cover now. 1, 2. No, Tenzai kicks out. And MVP again trying to chop down the legs of Tenzai. Continue with just drop kicks to the leg when Tenzai gets up, and a big kick there knocking down Tenzai. MVP though with a counter, and MVP setting it up. MVP with the playmaker. MVP hooks the leg. 1, 2. And the world's most valuable tag team score the victory.
It was a great match.
So it looks like, yep, it sure was. And it looks like they were the better team overall. Of course, now picking up 2 tag team victories. They're 2-0 in tag team action. Tons of Funk, though, has the edge in singles matches. I think that was all due to the case of, despite not being together long, MVP and Shelton Benjamin have great chemistry together. And as a tag team, they're almost able to offset that size difference. And as you see, the playmaker by MVP knocking out Tenzai.
Shelton Benjamin and MVP, the world's most valuable tag team.
So a great match here to kick off the pre-show as MVP and Shelton Benjamin. You got to think, with the great amount of tag teams and superstars of today, of course, they have the tag team titles held and defended tonight by Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. With this victory, do you think they might get in the tag team title hunt?
I think so. They were pretty impressive. Good form, good maneuver. I think you'll see a lot of them in the future.
Okay, well, to end out the pre-show, let's look at in-depth at some of these rivalries that we'll be seeing on the main show. First off, Fandango versus Big E Langston. This all started when Big E defeated Fandango in the first week. Second week, Fandango attacked Big E. Big E attacked Fandango, distracted him with the matches. Big E got the upper hand the third week, but Fandango smashing him through the car window the fourth week. Who you got?
Gotta be gotta be Big E.
I think Big E
just
as
not.
well.
I'm just not a Fandango fan.
I think Big E as well. We got Christian versus Kofi Kingston. This all started Christian helping Edge retain his title against Daniel Bryan. Kingston stepping up saying, hey, Daniel Bryan's my friend. And so this match, the loser is barred from ringside in the world title match. Who you got?
Christian.
I think Kofi Kingston. We also have the Muscle of the Shield, Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler. This started when the PTP and Dolph Ziggler defeated the Shield. The Shield have almost kind of been punishing Dolph Ziggler, attacking him. But Dolph Ziggler has been getting the upper hand, especially last week against Seth Rollins. Who you got?
Roman Reigns.
I think Roman Reigns as well. He took out both of the primetime players with the spear. Big Show versus Miz. Miz wanted Big Show to be almost a bodyguard of sorts, helping him beat John Cena. Big Show tricked the Miz, helped John Cena win. They've been costing matches back and forth. Who you got?
Show.
Big Show as well. I mean, I don't think Miz can win. He'll have to pull out some tricks, that's for sure. Next match, probably the biggest brawl on the card. Two Englishmen, Wade Barrett and Sheamus. Englishman versus Irishman. Who you got? Wade Barrett or Sheamus?
All day long. Sheamus.
I don't know. Both of these men are great brawlers, but I think at the end of the day, Wade Barrett is going to stoop to levels that Sheamus would not, just because Wade Barrett doesn't have as good a character. So I'm thinking Wade Barrett, but in some kind of underhanded tactic. Next, the big one, CM Punk versus Batista. Batista saying he's tired of all these little guys, getting fan support in wrestling. CM Punk finally got Batista to accept this match. Who do you think, CM Punk or Batista?
CM Punk.
I think CM Punk's going to find a way to win as well. But I think he'll take a lot of punishment. Next, we got gold, tag team championships. The Shield members, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, defend against the primetime players. Of course, as we said, the primetime players team with Dolph Ziggler to defeat them in 6-man action. We also, they've been going back and forth in singles matches between the Shield and the PTP and Ziggler. Who you got?
Rollins, Ambrose.
Me too. I think the Shield is too deadly as a tag team. Next, we have the winner of the 4-man Intercontinental Championship No More Contenders Tournament, Chris Jericho against Cesaro. This seemed more of just as a match that was not that personal until last week when Cesaro made it personal, attacking Chris Jericho from behind. Who you got?
This is a tough one for me, but I'm going to go Cesaro.
I think Jericho because he is a 9-time Intercontinental Champion. Next, the one JBL versus Del Rio. JBL winning a triple threat No More Contenders match between Mysterio and Swagger. JBL saying that Del Rio's an illegal immigrant. All this just xylophobicness. Who you got?
It's the 4th of July weekend. USA.
You got JBL?
Yep.
Or Del Rio? I got JBL. Quickly moving forward. Now we have Daniel Bryan versus Edge. World title line. Who you got?
Daniel Bryan.
I think the Yes Movement will culminate with a World Heavyweight Championship victory tonight as well. And then our main event, Brock Lesnar, the dominant PAWL champion. He took out Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne will be gone for months. He beat Randy Orton. He beat Big Show with the help of The Miz. And last week he teamed with Batista and Brock Lesnar pinned CM Punk. Who you got?
Maybe a mistake here, but I got to go John Cena. I'm just not a Paul Heyman guy.
I think Brock Lesnar. John Cena is going to be his toughest test yet. I think there will be many times when Brock Lesnar looks vulnerable. It won't be a dominant win, but I think Brock Lesnar is overmatched. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. It's time for No Forgiveness, guys. Join us.